Have you ever spent hours studying only to forget almost everything the next day? You're not alone. Forgetting is one of the biggest frustrations students face. But the truth is, it's not your fault. Your brain is designed to forget information that isn't processed the right way. Our brains are incredibly powerful, but they're selective. They decide what to keep and what to discard based on relevance, repetition, and emotional connection. Today we're going to dive into the science of memory and share practical, proven strategies to help you remember what you study, improve exam performance, and feel confident in your knowledge. How memory works. Memory isn't just one thing, it has multiple stages. When you first study something, it enters your short-term memory, which can hold small amounts of information temporarily. Without reinforcement, this information fades quickly. To retain knowledge long-term, your brain needs to transfer it into long-term memory, where it can be recalled days, weeks, or even years later. The trick is understanding how to make that transfer effective. Simply reading your notes isn't enough. Your brain needs active engagement with the material. Spaced repetition. One of the most effective techniques is spaced repetition. This method involves reviewing material at increasing intervals. For example, after learning something new, you review it 1 day later, then 3 days later, then a week later, and so on. Each review strengthens the neural connections in your brain, moving knowledge into long-term storage. You don't have to spend hours each time. Even short, focused reviews are powerful. Tools like Anki, Quizlet, or digital flashcards make spaced repetition simple and highly effective. Active recall. Another critical technique is active recall. Passive studying, just reading or highlighting, is ineffective because it doesn't train your brain to retrieve information. Active recall, on the other hand, forces your brain to retrieve knowledge, which strengthens memory. Close your book and try to write or explain what you just learned. Quiz yourself, solve practice problems, or teach the material to someone else. The harder your brain works to retrieve information, the stronger that memory becomes. Visualization. Mnemonics. Visualization is another powerful tool. Our brains are wired to remember images better than text. Try turning complex ideas into diagrams, mind maps, or mental images. Mnemonics, acronyms, and rhymes work in a similar way. They create associations that make it easier to remember facts. For example, remembering the order of planets in the solar system is easier when you use a funny sentence or story that links them together. Small tricks like these can dramatically improve your retention. Interleaved practice. Interleaved practice is often overlooked but highly effective. Instead of studying one subject for hours, mix multiple subjects or topics in one session. This may feel harder initially, but it forces your brain to constantly switch and make connections, which improves long-term retention and understanding. For example, instead of doing 10 math problems in a row, do 5 math, 5 science, then 5 history questions. This builds flexibility in your thinking and strengthens memory pathways. The role of sleep. Sleep is crucial for memory. Studies show that information studied before sleep is more effectively consolidated into long-term memory. Pulling an all-nighter might seem productive, but in reality, it reduces retention, focus, and recall. Even short naps after studying can improve memory consolidation. Your brain uses sleep to process, organize, and store the information you've learned during the day. Without sleep, all your effort can be wasted. Consistency over marathon sessions. Another common mistake students make is thinking that studying for long hours in one sitting is more effective. In reality, short, daily, consistent sessions are far superior. Even 30-45 minutes a day, combined with active recall and spaced repetition, leads to better retention than cramming for 5 hours the night before an exam. Memory is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice and consistency. Emotional connection. Memory is also stronger when there's an emotional connection. Relate what you're learning to your life, interests, or experiences. The brain prioritizes emotionally significant information. For example, when learning historical events, imagine what it would feel like to live in that time. When learning scientific concepts, picture how they apply in real life. Emotional engagement strengthens the memory trace and makes recall easier. Tips to maximize memory retention. 1. Teach what you learn explaining material to others forces active recall. 2. Use flashcards, combine spaced repetition and active recall for maximum retention. 3. Draw diagrams or charts, turn abstract ideas into visuals. 4. Practice retrieval under pressure, simulate exam conditions. 5. Sleep well, your brain needs rest to consolidate learning. 6. Mix subjects interleaving strengthens connection. 7. Stay hydrated and eat well. Physical wellness directly affects memory. Recap. Remembering what you study isn't about intelligence or cramming more hours. It's about understanding how your brain works and applying strategies that make learning stick. Spaced repetition, active recall, visualization, mnemonics, interleaved practice, and sleep. Apply these consistently, and you'll not only remember more, but feel confident, reduce stress, and perform better in exams. Studying smarter, not harder, is the key. Start implementing these memory techniques today and watch your learning transform. Your exams will no longer be a test of how much you can cram, but a reflection of how effectively you prepared.